Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be going over the Gloves of the Illuminator, which pair very nicely with the Staff of the Rage, Endless Rage, and we'll be talking about that. Now, the Gloves of the Illuminator specifically have a 9 to 11% critical strike chance, which is always nice to have on a pair of gloves. 10.5 to 15% fireball attack speed, which actually comes in handy for trying to make the fireballs bounce more. Apparently, the faster the fireballs are, the more they bounce, and so you can get like some really nice bounces if you have a really high fireball attack speed. In general, like if you get a greater affix on the fireball attack speed on the gloves, and then also a greater affix on the fireball attack speed on the staff, you can make your fireball attack speed so fast that you end up getting a really large number of bounces. On top of this, it also has a really epic effect of +2 mana every single time a fireball explodes, and this, of course, is kind of crazy considering that when you're firing these, they bounce multiple times and explode multiple times, as you can see. So you get multiple explosions and you get multiple mana back because for every single bounce that they create, you're getting more explosions. On top of this, if you combine it together with the Staff of the Endless Rage, you can get a additional cast of the fireballs when they are shooting. So, for instance, with this particular build, as you can see, I can have so many explosions on the screen at any given time that I'm going to be restoring basically every ounce of my mana at all times because I'm getting like 5 explosions per fireball with up to like 6 fireballs on the screen at any given time, and the 6 fireballs are just giving me massive amounts of mana in return, which is absolutely insane, right? Now, on top of this, it also has +3 to Fireball itself, which of course is the main skill that it's affecting. And it also has the Fireball now bounces as it travels, exploding each time it hits the ground, but its explosion deals up to 0% less damage, so it's 30 to 0% less damage each time it bounces. So basically we get a pretty nice amount of additional damage here, but tying these together with the Staff of the Endless Rage is absolutely amazing. If you're not using the Staff of Endless Rage, I mean, it still makes your fireball bounce, which is nice, but you're not going to get all the additional bonuses, like the additional extra fireballs that you're going to have. But one bouncy fireball is still pretty fun to play around with, and it's definitely going to be better than just simply firing the fireball straight, because when you fire the fireball straight without the Staff of Endless Rage, it's just going to explode that one time. So you're just going to get the one explosion. Whereas when you're using the Gloves of the Illuminator, you're going to get multiple explosions. Boom, 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 boom. Going across the entire pack here, right? So just, we could like stand on this side and you're just like...
Mr. Goody Two Shoes, Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Ginger Evil Mentor here. Why bother farming when you can go to MMOEXP.com and simply purchase your items in gold? GGM would have you farm the items. What a pathetic being. Use code GEM Ginger Evil Mentor for 6% off your entire purchase. And don't tell Ginger Gaming Mentor that I was here.
Which certainly isn't terrible. All in all, I do think there are some very epic little pairs of gloves. Finding a really good pair of these is difficult, though, because that affix of the fireballs doing less explosion damage. If you ended up with like a 30%, those are pretty terrible. The 0%ers, though, are absolutely amazing, because that means you get to keep the full explosion damage and you don't lose anything. And these do drop from, I believe it's Beast of the Ice, but we'll look it up real quick on Diablo 4.life anyway. So the flavor text on these says, after Inarius returned to Sanctuary, he sought a way back to the high heavens. His first step was to reignite the religion he had abandoned a millennia before, the Cathedral of the Light. So let's take a look on Diablo 4.life, and we're going to use the target farming tool right here. And the target farming tool is going to tell us that the Gloves of the Illuminator comes from Grigore, the Galvanic Saint, and the Beast in the Ice. Now, the Beast in the Ice is really popular this season because he also drops the very, very popular Fists of Fate. And so if you're trying to farm yourself a nice Gloves of the Illuminator, you could also go as a Sorceress and potentially get yourself some Fists in the Fates as well as your Gloves of the Illuminator together. Do a little dual farming there. Fists of the Fates are really valuable this season, so if you get some good greater affixes on there, and a 300% roll, you've got a lot of money, and you can sell them for a pretty penny, or you could use them on your character, either way. This is definitely one of the more fun builds in the game. I feel like between the Staff of the Endless Rage and the Gloves of the Illuminator. Now, both of these could potentially be used separate from each other, and that's perfectly fine. But using them together definitely makes for a very interesting and crazy build of spamming large amounts of fireballs. I mean, just look at it. That's kind of crazy, actually. And adding attack speed to this would just make it even worse, right? So, like, let me give my, let me grab my Andariel's Visage. Yeah, even more crazy. Hitting a large amount of attack speed with this would be absolutely insane. So trying to get your attack speed as high as you possibly can, I would recommend trying to get even 100%, and maybe even focusing on some other things like the accelerating aspect to increase the attack speed even further. Because obviously with the mana return per bounce, especially if you get a greater graphics on that, and the number of attacks that you have with the Staff of Endless Rage, there's probably not going to be any issues with mana. So it's really going to be about scaling your attack speed as high as you possibly can to get as many of these casts as you possibly can within a given period of time, which is going to be really effective. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and girls joining me, even when we're just going over something as simple as the Gloves of the Illuminator and the Staff of the Endless Rage. If you do enjoy the content, I appreciate it if you hit that like button and the subscribe button because it does help out the channel. And as always, keep watching.